Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of TLDR Addiction. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the differences between THC or marijuana impaired driving and alcohol impaired driving, because there are differences between the two, but it's not that you can drive high and it's fine, which is unfortunately what a lot of people think. I say that because there have been multiple studies that show, as well as just anecdotal evidence, that people think that if you drive high that you'll just, like, say, drive slower, more safely, doesn't cause a problem. We actually know that it does. We've found numerous studies that have that show that your lateral control over a vehicle is impacted, your ability to judge speed, your processing speed is diminished, so your ability to take in and work with all the stimuli on the road, and your ability to think abstractly and shift between all the different pieces of information coming at you. So it absolutely does impair you, and this is borne out in more accidents on the road in states where use rates are increased, which are generally, here in the United States, the legalized states, which unfortunately Illinois is about to join. So in terms of how this is a big issue, there's a couple of different ways. One has to do with the fact that people don't know when they are, quote unquote, too high to drive. One of the biggest concerns here is that there is no 0.08 for THC. So 0.08, of course, blood alcohol content, is a good indicator for how impaired you are as a driver. Unfortunately, THC doesn't work that way, and what's been called the 0.08 of marijuana, or 5 nanograms per liter, has been shown over and over again to mean absolutely nothing in terms of impairment, not because THC doesn't impair you, but because THC shoots right into your brain. So THC is what's called a lipophilic substance. It's attracted to fat. And your brain is about 65% fat. It's like a big glob of fat. So it basically just shoots right in, and it still can impair you even after you can no longer detect it in the blood. And the blood right now is the only accepted, validated way of testing for current impairment, because in the urine, THC can get in there from a long time ago. So people aren't good judges about whether or not they're impaired when they're impaired. That's true for both alcohol and for THC. And with THC, we can't even necessarily give someone, say, like a THC breathalyzer to say, are you over the legal limit? Because we metabolize it differently, and it gets out of out of the blood circulation quickly and into the brain. So the main takeaways that I hope you can get from this one are that it's not that alcohol and THC in many ways are not the same drug, and I'm sure we'll explore that more in future episodes. But when it comes to driving, they absolutely both impair you, and it is not safe to drive high. The phrase that's been thrown out there that I wholeheartedly endorse is, if you don't feel right, you won't drive right. And that goes for anything, whether it's alcohol, THC, fatigue, anything that if you don't feel right, you don't drive right. So that's TLDR Addiction for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll look forward to talking to you again next week.